So, in order to show what's going on, I have emptied out all of the data for the books so that I can add one pin at a time and you can see the difference. Because apparently explaining that the way the game works is you are typically underground doesn't seem to be making any sense. And here I am in game. We're going to open up the book. I'm going to type the magic message here. Get the information, copy and paste it. Now I'm back to Notepad++, and we're going to put the book here. So I have it designed to give me all the information that I need, considering okay. So that's all I need for the book. Alright, here we go. There's a pin. Now, what people are constantly complaining about is that there isn't a pin on the other map. People call it the overworld map, zone map, whatever. Now, right now, even as I zoomed out, you'll notice that my icon is here, but yet I'm over here. So, can I zoom in a little? Make that a little more clear. Here versus here. I am underground. I am not on the surface of the map. I'm on a completely different map. I am under the ground. And the name of the map is Rivenspire, and I'm in the Undercroft. Okay? Not on the main world map at all. So let's go up to the world map here really quick. So now you'll notice, magically, instead of being over here, I am here by the estate. I'm in the house still. So I've got to leave the house. But see, now I'm finally on the overland map, or the world map, or the zone, or whatever vocab word you want to use. And it is a completely different map name. So this map name is the Rivenspire base. Completely different map. Now while I'm standing here, let me get a fake pin. Okay, I've got the data for the fake pin. Now I have the data for the fake pin, and just so we can kind of compare it, I'm going to keep this comment though. Okay. So the fake position has a different number. This one's 196 and a bunch of stuff. This one is 203 and a bunch of stuff. 232, 241, because I'm standing in a completely different part of the map. The map ID for the Undercroft is 647. The map ID for Rivenspire is 10. So they're different. It's just like you saying that you're in your house or you're in the city. They're two completely different locations, but the center of your house is 0.5 and 0.5, and the center of the city could be 30 miles away from your house. The scale between your house and a city is completely different, and the scale between a little map underground or even a big dungeon underground is completely different than the world above it. You're underground. You need to have two completely different pins in order for the book to show up in both places. So, Now I'm going to go ahead and do that, although I have to edit this because I use different names to make more sense to the program. So we'll do that real quick. Okay, now I have enough information for the game to see, or for it to show, a pin in both places. Alright, and now if I zoom in enough, there is a book pin here, and if I go down inside all the way to the cellar, or Undercroft, now there's a pin. See? Running towards it already. Yay! There it is. There's a pin in both locations. Now, a lot of people are saying, well, you know, it just magically happened before, and well, yeah, okay, there were some things, but again, I don't know how to explain it any other way. You can't use the pin information from where you are underground. Okay? So let me go back above ground here. Now, my little blue triangle is here, close to the estate. When I'm underground again to the upper world map, I am just under wherever they decided to drop this big, massive bunch of computer-generated images, which is over here. Not over here, over here. Now, in order for me to get the pin originally, I needed these first three numbers. So, we're just going to delete all of this, except for the fact that I know the zone that I'm in is 10, or the map ID is 10 anyways, and not 647. So we're going to replace that with 10. And that would be the same as taking the coordinates for the map down below in the Undercroft and just saying, hey, use those and just throw the pin somewhere on the map in the upper world and see what happens. So, let's see what happens. Alright, the game loaded. There is no longer a pin here where I am. And since we just told the game just display a pin wherever those X and Y coordinates were, guess what, geniuses? You get the pin over here because it's from a completely different map. You can't use the pin information from the map underground because the scale is completely different. Again, the interior of your house, the center of your house, the scale is very small because your house might only be 60 or 80 feet wide or something like that, and your entire city is hundreds of miles wide. They're not the same scale. So now when I go out of here, I'm going to go up on the map. Okay, so here I am on the upper map, and now if I want to travel there, let's give it a shot. I mean, not going to be able to get to that book because, for one, it's underground. It's not on the upper part of the map. And two, it's completely inaccessible from where I am. See, it's basically somewhere underground if I point down. But see, I can't get there. There's mountains all over the place. And the castle. And Now I can maybe try to go over here. See, it's gonna, yeah, see. Good. How am I gonna get there? It's not going to happen. So here I am again by the estate, which is the entrance to where you would find the book. Again, if the pins were allowed to be displayed using the information for a completely different map, you would get a book that appears somewhere on the overland map that you can't go to. It's that simple. There is no other more simple way to explain that. And I know everyone wants to rationalize why it worked before. It wasn't working before because you don't understand that the information has to be different. Every pin that is placed on a map has to contain information for that map. The map names are different, map identifiers are different, and map scales are different. You can't use the location from underground to show the pin for your map above the ground. It has never worked that way. And just people assume that they know what they're talking about. The information was collected for that book in the original version, number 23, for while you were underground. It won't work for above ground. And if I just blindly did it, I'd get a book out in the middle of nowhere. So that is why, in order to have the pin show on both maps, you have to have X and Y coordinates for the overland map and X and Y coordinates for the map underground. It's just the way it is.